welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little insight to cabin crew and what we take on board with us in our cabin crew hand baggage, our handbags and our cabin bags. So depending on the trip I'm doing, if I do a 3-day trip I'll take smaller bags, and if I'm doing a bigger trip, so 4 or 5-day trips, I'll take a bigger case and check it into the hold. So I will always have my handbag with me, which is part of my uniform standard, so I've always got to take that with me. Unfortunately, I can't show you the handbag because if I show you the handbag it will just give away what airline I work for, and I don't want to get into trouble with work. But I can show you what's inside it, and then I'll show you what I take in my cabin bag, which always comes with me. So let's get started. So in my handbag, I'm just gonna get it. I always carry, obviously, my passport and my ID. Those are two things I can't go anywhere without. Top tip for either cabin crew or anyone who travels a lot, make sure you always put it in a wallet or a bag or something that is waterproof, because I made the biggest mistake of not putting it in any kind of cover and leaving a plastic bottle in my bag. When I came to doing my trip, I realised that the bottle had leaked and it ruined my visa. So not only was I knocked off my trip, I then had to go all the way to London and get a new visa, so not worth it. So just make sure you have it protected, and I have it in this, which is just a little Michael Kors purse. It's not actually a travel document purse or anything, it's literally just a purse, and I just have them in there. So it is very bulky because I have a lot in here. So I've got in here my 2 passports. I had to get a new one, so I carry 2. I've got this little thing which is has all my injections in, yellow fever, things like that. We have to carry that with us all the time. And then what else is in there is just literally dollars and loads of coins, and literally just cards that I've collected from different places, like CVS and things like that in America, and coupons which I can reuse on my next trips. This one's from Bath and Body Works, things like that. So I just keep that all together. This is literally just for all my travel destinations. It's got other currencies in and things like that. And obviously my ID, I can't again show you that because if I was, you would know what airline. So yep, I carry my ID in my handbag. And then other things I've got in there, just normal day-to-day things. I always keep my sunglasses in there. They stay in there, they don't come out, because let's face it, we don't get much sun in the UK. So they're just basic Ray-Ban brown Wayfarers. I've had these for years and they're brilliant still, but I do really need to invest in a new pair, so hopefully one day. But they're always in there. My headsets for my iPhone or my iPad, they're always in there. Obviously always tangled up and take me half an hour to untangle. And then whatever else I've got in there is literally just like chewing gums I have in there, bits of paper, all sorts of stuff, like just rubbish basically, pens, paracetamol, things like that. That's just the basics, but I just wanted to show you basically my passport and my ID. They're the 2 main things. Oh, and my own purse as well. I have my purse that's got my cards in and my money, all my UK stuff, that also goes in there. Obviously I've got that, and then most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I will have this bag, which you can't really see, which is I call it a topper. It goes on top of a big case or a little case, and it's just a Samsonite one. It's really good. It's got loads and loads of zips and storage and things like that. Front pockets, inside pockets. It opens up even more, so you can get right in there, as you can sort of see. So this is great, and it literally just scoops through the back of your case like that and just sits on top of the case like that. So I'll just go through what I normally have in there. There are 2 things I can't really work without. Maybe one of them I get away with, but one thing is my cabin shoes. So as cabin crew we have to have 2 pairs of shoes. One pair are high heels that we go to work in, go through the airport in, get on the aircraft in. And then we've got cabin shoes, which are flatter shoes that you change into once the aircraft doors are closed and you do your services in. And that's basically just health and safety really, and let's face it, it's better than wearing heels for 12 hours being on your feet. So I'll show you them. I just keep them in this little bag. Literally, I think I got this from Primark, this little bag. And it's got my shoes in. I'm not going to show you my shoes because they are a little dirty, but I'll show you the heel. They are like little, see, just little block heels, and they're what we change into on board. So there's those in my bag. And then another thing that I can't show you because obviously it's uniform, we have like a waistcoat that we change into. So we take our jackets off, and for the services we put this waistcoat gilet thing on, and that basically just protects your uniform underneath. It's just another part of the uniform, and I suppose it's so that our customers know that we change for the service. I don't know, they look cute. These are more things that I have to have in my bag. Now, depending on the trip, we will have crew rest. So basically that's time away, a little break. It can be anything from half an hour up to a few hours depending on where you are going. And what I like to always have is pyjamas. These are just little pyjamas from Next. They're long sleeved ones, as you can see, and they're long pants as well. I always carry pyjamas with me because I like to change out of my uniform because it won't get creased and crumpled, and then you feel like well, I just don't like sleeping in my uniform, so I like to get changed. And I like long sleeved pants and long sleeved arms. Not long sleeve pants, long pants and long sleeved arms, because I get really cold. As I'm sure all of you know who have travelled on an aeroplane before, it can get pretty cold. So having nice warm pyjamas to put on is always good. And to go with these pyjamas, this can be for anyone, not just cabin crew, for anyone who travels all the time. I would always suggest to have a little hot water bottle, and it will keep you warm. So I have one of them for the bunks because again, the bunks can get really cold. So that's one of my little essentials that I like. Oh, I thought I wasn't recording then. So apart from those two things, which I like to have in my bag, and the two things that are essential for me to carry out my job, because they probably wouldn't let me work the flight if I didn't have my waistcoat or my shoes, is this little nifty bag that I've made up. Literally just a little bag, and it has loads of little snacky bits in there. So with being cabin crew, there's times when you can just be called out at very short notice, and I always have this in my bag stocked up so that I know wherever I'm getting to, whatever time I'm getting there, I know I've always got something I can nibble on and that'll keep me going. So a few ideas of what I've got in here. Basically, a cup of soups, easy to make in your room, because most hotel rooms have got some kind of kettle in, so that's easy to make. What else have I got? Oh, this is a bit rugged. Some couscous, again, easy to make, always a good snack. And then I think the rest are just, yes they are, like snacky bits. I love these bars, naked bars, so they're handy to have in there. I've also got hot chocolate in case you just want a hot chocolate in bed after a long flight, who wouldn't? Some nuts and bits, and also actually a mug shot, again hot water, easy to make. So I would recommend that if you are just joining out as cabin crew, or you're in training or whatever, make yourself one of these up. You will thank yourself when you get down. This is a great thing for anyone who travels a lot. This is an adapter, and you're thinking, oh, an adapter, but this is brilliant. It literally, any country, all different countries, you just change it like this. So you never have to worry. If you keep this in your bag, you know you've always got it with you. And the good thing about it is this little bit on the end, as you can see, it's a USB, so that will fit any device in in there, so I normally plug my iPhone and my iPad in there. Never forget it because it's always in my bag, so that is a really handy thing to have because it just does every destination I go to, so another great thing. Let me see what else. iPhone charger, obviously, iPad charger, not going to go anywhere without that. What else? Tights for girls. Make sure you've always got spare tights because I'm telling you now, you will lather these. Depending on which airline you work for is dependent on the type of colour you can wear and things like that, but make sure you've always got a spare pair or at least 2 spare pairs with you because I'm telling you, you will rip them all the time. My iPad as well, that's always in there because this has got documents, things like that I use for my job every day, but also it's my television when I get to somewhere and the telly's not very good and I want to catch up on Netflix. Always carry this with me. I've got a folder as well in my cabin bag which has got, I'm not going to show you inside because again it will give it away, but this has just basically got the different aircrafts I fly on and just references to them, so if I ever need to quickly look at something I've got it all in here. Liquids. Now, depending on whether I'm going on a long trip, like I said, I will check a bag in and that will have all my clothes in and my liquids in, so I don't have to worry. If I'm taking a small cabin bag with this on top, I will have to then do liquids like everyone else. So the UK law, customs law is that it has to be a see-through plastic bag with nothing over 100ml in it. So this is the plastic bag. This is really tatty now, but you get these just given to you at the airport and you have to fit everything in here if you're not checking a bag in, and believe me, that is difficult. Having 100ml bottles and that in there anywhere will do them, but they always hike the prices up on them, so I don't personally like buying the actual miniatures. Sometimes I will, like miniature hairspray and things like that, which you can't put into plastic bottles, but what I like to do is, and these are wrecked and I need to get new ones, is just put shampoo and conditioner in little bottles. Again, you don't have to take your own shampoo and conditioner with you because most of the time the hotels, they will provide that, but I like to because my hair is wild if I don't use my conditioner. So they go in my liquids bag always. If I'm night stopping, I'll always take them, even if I've washed my hair that day, just because you never know, you might get extra time down there, you know, an extra day or whatever, so they will always be in my liquids bag. And next of all, I like to have a deodorant, and obviously I've bought a small one, but this is like a compressed one, I think it is. Oh no, maybe it's not. Anyway, this is my favourite one. It's just a Nivea one. You see? 100ml again, that goes in there because you will always want deodorant with you no matter what. Like I was saying, mini hairspray, always have one of them because the airline I work for, your hair has to be immaculate, so this works well, especially when you get out of crew rest and your hair's all over the place and you need to tame it. That works well. So those are my main bits and bobs that are in there. Now, extras that I'm going to show you, you might not need. For instance, depending on where I'm going, a little suntan lotion, couldn't think of the word then. Suntan lotion, this is factor 30 because you need to protect yourself, especially depending on where you're going. The sun can be very, very strong. This is definitely a preference. Not everyone has these because they can be quite expensive, but I find I don't drink enough water if I don't have one of these. It's just a little cordial bottle, Vimto. I like to have that in there. Hand cream. You cannot do this job without hand cream because you get so dry on these planes, and especially hands, because you'll find you wash your hands all the time. Well, I do anyway, so I like to have a nice little mini hand cream in there. I said I don't buy minis, but all of this is minis apart from the shampoo and conditioner. A little mini antibacterial. This is from Bath & Body Works. It's not focusing very well, but you can see where what it is. I like to have one of them in there. This is my little daily moisturiser. I have put it in a little tub because the bottle is just massive and won't fit in there. So that will last me a good few days in there. I have that. And I've not got it with me, but I also have another one which has got toothpaste in that I like to put in there because sometimes toothpaste can be big unless you buy a little one. Also, if I haven't checked a bag in, you've got to put your makeup in there. So my foundation will go in there, just like your concealers, mascaras, they've all got to go in there. And I also like to have this little Lizelle eye cream, which just helps dark circles and fine lines. So I like to have that in there because my job can be very tiring. Wipes. Thankfully, they don't have to go in your liquids bag because they're not a boring liquid. So I like to always have a bag of wipes with me. My trusty toothbrush, that always goes in there with me. This little tangle teaser I always have in there because you always want to brush your hair after crew rest or whatever. So that is great. It's compact, it's light, fits in anywhere. Perfect little thing to have. And this is a top tip for you girls who trying to slick your hair back and get it all neat. This brush is amazing. It helps your hair back and nicely into your bun or your ponytail, so that is a big tip. I would try one of these if you're struggling to get all your hair back and neat. I've used this for years. Also in my cabin bag, it is my makeup bag, obviously. So in here will be anything that is non-liquid, so powdered blush, eyeshadows, lipsticks. Lipsticks are okay, they don't have to go in your liquid bag. Lip liners, might be have a little lip what I've got in there. This is just a little Ted Baker cute little bag. Oh yes, this is another thing you've got to get. Not this one, just the lip balm. You will just be so dry on the aircraft. It just honestly, literally, you just come off like a prune. So this helps your lips so much. This is a Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream lip protector, but anything, you know, Vaseline, Nivea, anything, but make sure you pack a good lip balm because you'll need it. So that's in there, that doesn't have to go in your liquids. And I've just got, like I say, you know, other, this is a Clinique Chubby Stick, my MAC pencil, MAC lipstick, just bits and bobs that aren't liquids, they will all go in there. And I love this because it's a great size just to fit in there, because having all that in there, it does get a bit of a tight squeeze, so this is perfect. And do you know what? I think that's it. Whole bag, if I'm taking one of them, I will put all my clothes and all my other liquids. Depends on the destination, it'll be coats, boots, or it'll be flip-flops and bikinis, depending on where I'm going. So that will go in there, and I think that's it. So obviously this is a new channel, I'm just starting up, and it's gonna be mostly around cabin crew, like makeup looks, hairstyles. I'm going to try and do trips when I get, you know, decent trips, take you along there, show you around, and you know, general things like that. Moisturisers that I use that help with dry skin on board, things like that. So if you're interested and you want to keep watching, hit the subscribe button and that will just notify you when I've put up a new video. Give this video a like as well if you like it, and if you've got any suggestions on other videos, comment down below and let me know, and I'll see you soon.